they say, then they say, what are you guys getting out of this? Like, why are you guys doing this for free? And I tell them we just want like our students to have some experience. And probably like 70% of the time they don't believe me. They think there's something behind it, which is like there's nothing behind it. We just want some experience. But some of them know that getting consulting could be very expensive. So they decide to work with us, and most of the time they're very satisfied.
Yes, they are. And so the one that are satisfied, we hope that they tell their friends, so that way we bring other people that are interested. Um, and uh, so the best relationship we tend to have are past students who have their own business, and it's been 5 years that they graduated, and they know because they were working on this project. So they're very excited to be now the recipients of the services, and they know how much the students and the faculty work on this project. So these are the easiest one to convince, and that's really good, because with time we see more and more of the students coming back and offering to be a client. So I I hope that you hear my message today and that you actually think about sending us some clients to me and Jennifer, because we're still going through the review right now for clients. And again, the more clients we have, the more we can find the best match between the professors and the clients that we receive. So the exchange is very much the businesses getting consulting services, which are courtesy of the university, offering this through the center and the endowment of the bank. And the students get to work on a real project, which makes it better in a way, because of getting experience on what you're learning is another way of learning, and sometimes it gets them more excited because they can see that practicing something they've learned right away make them feel good, and they can see the benefits in working afterwards. And one of the benefits, and that happens to me regularly, almost every week, that I get a students that reach back to me and ask me about what I'm doing right now and tell me what they are doing. And they're still using the projects that they learned and did completed in the university. So it works. It doesn't work just to get a grade or just to get a degree. It works because they actually use it afterwards. I just remember now a gentleman that participated in the Wells Fargo and was actually one of the competitor, and he actually won as well, who sent me an email last week from Munich in Germany, and telling me that now he's finishing his MBA and he's working for an insurance company, and he's still using what he's learned through the projects, experiential projects that he did at CSUN. And actually that learning to talk to investor was very important, because he used it in his interview for his MBA and said that he worked on that. And that got him to be in the business school in Munich doing his MBA. So all of these different things are very important. And what I find interesting is um, when I tell students about the opportunity of getting coaching to learn how to speak to investors. So this semester, for example, I said that to about 160 students. Here's an opportunity. I will help you. You will learn something. Yes, it's work, but people who work get to learn more and do more things and so forth. And of 160 students, I only had 5 that said that they were interested. But when you ask 160 students who want to succeed, you have 160 that says, I want to succeed. We want to make a lot of money. You have 160 that says, I want to make a lot of money. But when you ask them to do something extracurricular, that actually is going to help them succeed and eventually possibly make more money, you get 5. And so that's something that my little message is, people who seed are oftentimes the one that harvest, and luck happens to the people that are well prepared. So all of these things, you hear them and they are quotation from famous people, and you can say Elon Musk 50 times, that's not going to make you richer. It's by doing things that you become more successful. So this is an exercise that students have had to go through, and I worked till I was still working, what it was like 9:15 p.m. last night with them. And so it's also a big investment from the professor, but I really believe in this, and I think it makes a difference. And it's good, positive word of mouth for everybody. Everybody can gain from this. So I don't want to go through the detail of all the things that we do for our clients, but we do a lot of things. And obviously, because I'm a marketing professor, I tend to have a bias towards offering consulting services that have to do with marketing, and much less on human resources or accounting or finance or management, although management and marketing, there's a lot of crossover, but or business law, but we have obviously a lot of requests for all of these different subjects, and also a lot of requests, I would say now, for communication. Communication, it's the big name, which pretty much is talking about social media. A lot of businesses want help with social media, so that's the I would say the most common one. And since that's the most common one, and social media is connected with marketing, so oftentimes marketing is very much in the middle of the action here. But businesses sometimes come with what they think are the problems, but in fact, when we look at their problems and we identify the root of their problems, what the businesses think the problem are not always correct. So oftentimes we have to do some further investigation and maybe work on other things before we can work on what the client wants. So that sometimes creates some frustration because the clients may think that we're trying to avoid doing what they wanted us to do, but sometimes it's not possible to do this before fixing something else. You know, it's like someone wants for you to repaint the house, but the wall is falling apart. You got to fix the wall before you paint the wall. So it's a little bit the image that we have to go through and explain to the client. So because the clients see that we know what we're talking about and we have good intention, 99.9% of the time it turns out to be good because they can see and they let us do what we think needs to be done in priority. But that's very, very important. And so a consultant is someone that needs to be good at listening and serving the services of the client, but at the same time, you need to do what you think is the best thing to do. So obviously founding is something that I find very interesting. I find that people are not as knowledgeable about founding as much as I wish they would. And I think the students that are preparing for this project, they can say that most of them are on their last semester. And when it comes to founding, I would say they didn't know that much. And so this is like a last minute knowledge that they acquire, which makes a big difference. And when I was a student, I have to say that I don't think I knew much about founding. The reality is I learned about founding by having to work on a lot of different founding projects. And it's more of a game of Monopoly than anything else. There's some psychology, there is some understanding of how you negotiate. And it's very much this simple concept, if I had to summarize it, as the orange. Someone may want the pulp, someone may want the juice, and someone may want the skin. So it's very important to get to see different perspectives and see that the best outcome is when you know what everybody wants and you are able to optimize this. So that's what I think. So this is a project, obviously, that it's extraordinary, and that's not what we get done every time. But back in, it was in 2008, we had a client that came and said, I'm just about to go bankrupt. I don't know what to do. I heard about your program. Can you take my business? I used to be making $1 million. Now I make 300,000. It's the end of the world. What can you do for me? And so we told this client, well, we'll take you. It seems very interesting. He was a client that came from South America that started a business selling stones directly to construction people. And we looked at the situation in 2008. We see there was the financial crisis, and we could see that people didn't use construction workers as much, but they were still remodeling their house or fixing the kitchen or fixing the bathroom, smaller things. And so we did some research. You know, this is not just, there's no magic stick to find a formula, but we looked at some solution with the students, and we found a solution which was, this business was a B2B business, business to business, and we told them that they had to become a B2C, which essentially is a big change for a business, a huge change. It's not a 50% change, it's more like a 90% change. So the client was obviously a little shocked by the recommendation that we gave him. And he actually sat on the report for about 2 years, thinking, you know, I don't think so. These guys are crazy. And 2 years after, he really went bankrupt. And as a last bullet, if I can say, you know, the silver bullet, he says, you know what, maybe I'm going to rent a little store somewhere in the cheapest neighborhood in Los Angeles and ask favors to as many people as I can and start doing retailing and B2C. And that's what he did. The good news is 10 years after, he was making $32 million. He had 140 employees. And the last time I talked to him was about 6 months ago, and he was over 40 million now. Because in fact, it's kind of interesting. The consulting projects for remodeling in terms of numbers have gone down, but the people that are actually remodeling are spending much more money. So it's the rich are becoming richer. Great, good news. So I guess he's getting more money from less people, but a lot more money. So he was very happy that this is keeps on going, and I stay in touch with him because essentially he was telling me that this changed his life. Obviously, from being someone bankrupt to a millionaire, that's a nice change. And he connected all of this to the work that was done by the Wells Fargo Center at CSUN. So we did some video with him, and I still have this pending. I need to put them on the social media because obviously it's a nice recognition for the work that the faculty and the students have done. But that's not the only thing. Is we are at Nazarian College are very successful with consulting projects, and regularly, I would say every year, we end up being in the top 5. And I believe this year we finished top 1 with the MBA program. So that's what I tell people is you may not know what is consulting because it's so expensive. It's like someone offering you coaching, fitness coaching. Is if you never went to do fitness, you may not see the benefits. If you do fitness and you're a professional person, you don't have just one coach, you have multiple coaches. So the more people have coaches, the more they appreciate the sort of coaching that we're doing. And the least they have, the less they can appreciate it. But we are, I believe, doing a pretty good job, and the students are learning, and that's all that matters. The businesses that we help are not all large businesses. In fact, most of them are smaller businesses, but we don't concentrate on the fact that a small business is better than a large business. We've done businesses that had a revenue of over $1 billion. So that's a very large business. And we've done businesses that were just startups. So we've also done non-profit, international businesses where students actually worked with different teams overseas. We've done collaboration on campus with the engineering department, so between marketing and engineering and international students and all this. So we've done all the different flavors, and obviously the more you add those kind of crossover, the more complicated it becomes. But however, it's a good experience, maybe more interesting experiences for the students. So we try to have a flavor of everything, so that way we keep them interesting. So these are just some of the samples of the client I work from. I work for Califia Farms, which is a plant-based milk company. And this was quite exciting because I worked with them two classes. One was a large class. So what I did is I give this project to 160 students that worked at looking at all the different nuances and opportunities in the market. So when you have 160 students, it's good because nothing is left untouched. Even Califia Farms, which is a company that makes over $1 billion, would have had a difficult time finding 160 people working for them at once. So this was very good. So I found all the different things that could happen in the future for Califia Farms, and then I gave this to a smaller group of students. We work and just on them, just 5 students working on them, and we did a more concentrated consulting for them, and all of this working with the marketing director of Califia Farm. Then I worked on a singer whose name is Nishwaki, who was a singer that won CSUN Best Singer of the Year. CSUN actually has a scholarship that they give to the best singer of the year, and this is through the music department, and this is managed by a group of students who have their own consulting firm. It's called Vove. It's a consulting firm to help good singers, starting singers, to create a record and do all the work around it for the copyrights and the production, and then do an event. They do a concert and all these different things. And once they do all of that, they pass this client Nishwaki to us. So this was done through the master program, which is a master program on entertainment industry, and we work on Nishiwaki, and this was also very exciting because we are looking at someone that is potentially a future celebrity. So that's energizing for all the students to work on. And we have to do, it's sort of intangible because there's an element of fashion, there's an element of culture, there's an element of art that is very much involved in this. And so it's a totally different ball game, and I enjoy doing it every year because it's very stimulating. This year I'm back to doing milk. So it's just a coincidence. This time it's a cow milk, and it's, oh, I made a mistake. It's not Califia Farm, it's A2. Oh, sorry. It's A2 Milk. And A2 Milk is a company that started in New Zealand and now is booming in the USA because they came up with a concept where instead of having A1 protein in the milk, they have only A2. And so what they found is the more you industrialize the cow milk production, the more you have A1 type of protein. And the A1 protein supposedly is the one that creates the difficult digestion, versus the A2 is the one that favor the digestion. So they're not making a milk that has some A1 and some A2. It's just no A1, it's just the A2, by actually selecting cows that have been well treated, and they are continuously well treated. And there's a very human animal type of relationship. It's very interesting. The students are working on this right now. The paper is actually, their papers are due next week. But what's very interesting is I'm working also directly with the marketing department in the US for A2 Milk. And we're going to work with them again. I have a summer class, and I'm going to take it again for the summer class, taking the, there's going to be 31 reports created by the students. And these are going to be boiled down to one single report by another class. And so the client is going to get, again, vision that would take a lot of resources for them to get this kind of a review. But this is not to say about the other professors, and in particular, Professor Tina Kissler was extremely active this semester with 8 different projects that she worked on, projects that were harvested by the Wells Fargo Center. So as you can see, there was Lindo, Sorrel Tea, Paleta Please, Soft Slumbers, The Refill Shop, Body Oils by Brenda, Boss Lady Apparel, The Loop, and Darcy Johnson new mental health offering. For the most part, as you can see, there are communication plan and marketing plan and business plan. So these are produced by a group of about 5 or 6 students that are working on each one of these. This is 2 different classes that she's running. And we're very excited that she is doing this, because that's a lot of clients to manage. I mean, this is like a full-time consulting job to run all of this. So well done, Tina. Very exciting that you're doing this. So we're working on our future clients. And so that's what we're doing right now. Jennifer has been very helpful in collecting the clients and reviewing the clients and sort of ordering, ranking, evaluating the clients to be able to have a list of clients that we can give to the faculty for the next semester. So thank you very much, Jennifer. It's been a pleasure working with you. We started working last semester, and in fact, Jennifer was very excited to work in the Wells Fargo Center, so much that she actually worked for free last semester. That's pretty, that shows dedication and a type of mentality. This has never happened before, but there was a situation that it was sort of complicated, that she says, you know what, I want to be working in the center, let me work, it doesn't matter, eventually we'll figure it out. And so that's a very good mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I will leave Shoher Aslanian to say a few words, because I know she came today, and so we're very grateful. Thank you for joining us, and please let us know who you are, what you're doing, and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Frank, for the kind words. As you mentioned, my name is Shoher Aslanyan. I am a business development consultant for Wells Fargo. I currently support 28 branch locations throughout the Southland Valley region. So the areas I cover are from Encino to Studio City, and then from Brentwood all the way to Marina Del Rey. So thank you all for letting me be part of the 2022 annual event and the 15th year of the Wells Fargo Center's Small Business Entrepreneurs Investors Fast Pitch. I know when Frank reached out to me, I was excited because especially during the beginning of the pandemic, all I was doing is watching Shark Tank. So I'm actually excited to be here on a selfish reason to hear all the exciting pitches you all have and being a part of it today. So again, thank you all for letting me be a part of it, and I'm excited to be here on behalf of Wells Fargo. The company's commitment for helping its customers succeed financially is a critical part of its business strategy. The bank believes in being present and proactive in its neighborhoods and works to make a difference in its society. By promoting economic development and self-sufficiency through community development, financial and education, cash donations and grants, and through the efforts of its team member volunteers, Wells Fargo contributes to the long-term success and sustainability of the towns and cities where employees live and work. Some exciting news is that we do have the availability to now do in-person volunteer events, which was stopped due to the pandemic for everybody, just in general. So we're excited that we're going to be able to be part of in-person volunteer events in the future. To talk through what Wells Fargo has done, so in 2022, Wells Fargo contributed $200,000 to the CSUM Vida Clinic, $100,000 per year for a 2-year grant period. What we did with the 2-year grant period was to ensure the students continuing to service the community with tax services and low-income taxpayers, knowing the grant was going to be available in 2023 prior to the tax season closing and having that additional funds prior to that tax season ending. In prior years, Wells Fargo has donated $50,000 each year to support the clinic to continue to provide free financial education and coaching to low-income taxpayers. In addition, we provided an additional $50,000 grant contribution towards a small business consulting service where students volunteer continue to help local small businesses with extensive plans, which Frank talked through as well, which has led to the great partnerships and success for those small businesses, resulting in job growth and significant revenue for those businesses. During the height of the pandemic, Wells Fargo also donated $450 million from generated PPP fees back to the community by donating it to the small business nonprofit organization. The program had 3 different phases that we contributed towards. The first being the Community Development Financial Institution, which is CDFI, the Technical Assistance Program, and the Recovery and Resilience Program. The Technical Assistance Program focuses on small business services such as business planning, financial planning or management, marketing, advertising, amongst other support. The Recovery and Resiliency Program will be focusing on long-term recovery and resiliency resources to support businesses affected by COVID-19 in the future. By being able to collaborate with the CDFI program, we were able to help more small businesses that were able to receive lending while providing flexible and low-cost capital to those entrepreneurs. So a lot of these individuals were small businesses that were not being approved for the PPP loans through the federal agencies, and they were able to go through the CDFI to be able to have that additional income during the COVID. Wells Fargo has a long history of supporting CDFI through the grants and community investments, and those were used to extend those capitals to the businesses and communities across the country. And with the recent collaboration across the United States, became our highest contribution to date to our communities out there. Wells Fargo has philanthropy. Our Wells Fargo philanthropy has 4 key focuses. Small business is one of our biggest focuses right now. In addition, we have housing affordability, financial health, and environmental sustainability. Our community relations and philanthropy team currently is focusing and helping our communities with one of the main focuses being around our small businesses, as they are the backbone to our communities, whether it would be growth, income with additional jobs to our communities as a whole. We have additional resources for our small business owners, and typically not just for our Wells Fargo customers, it's just for any small business owner in our communities. That really is an additional resource that a lot of our individuals don't know that Wells Fargo offers. We do have additional small business guides. That's something as simple from writing a business plan, going into cash flow and financial management, to credit and financing. A majority of our branches do have small business bankers where our small business owners could schedule time with and be able to go through all those individual resources and guides that are available through our Wells Fargo centers. So it could be found online, but really spending that time building that connection with the small business banker will help our entrepreneurs and small business owners in our community. For me, I am proud of our contributions and our support with the program and organizations such as CSUN, who is helping our communities thrive every single day. For me, CSUN has a special place for my family. A few years after moving into the United States in the early 80s, my dad was able to attend CSUN and graduate with a double major while working 2 jobs and raising a family. With his knowledge, he was able to help play an intricate role in growing 3 small businesses. 2 of them were for his successful businesses were for his brothers, where he was able to do more of the back end, which was the marketing, the branding, the accounting piece of it. And then finally being able to co-own with my brother. Seeing the efforts and support the community by students and staff makes me a proud daughter to know my dad was a part of the CSUN alumni. I wish you all the best of luck today. Thank you all for letting me be a part of it. Again, continue to do the great work, not just for your future, but also for our communities. So with Frank, I'll turn it back to you. And again, thank you for letting me be a part of it today.
Well, thank you. Great speech. The best speech ever, I think, to be honest.
Well, I appreciate that. I won't tell Robin or our guest.
Oh, very good. Yeah, there's so many connections with CSUN, and it's so wonderful to hear. And there's a lot going on, and everybody is working very hard. And you know, we see this is about the students, but there is something that I wanted to do also for the faculty, because the faculty working in the center and working in the Nazarian, and I see so much commitment for the students that I wanted to be able to contribute. So I came up with this concept of the Clydesdale. So every year we are able to offer a small token of appreciation. So obviously we're using the Clydesdale again to connect to the center, just a small little token of connection. And we call for the faculty who has the largest number of students. Not too long ago, my chair mentioned to the faculty that we had one of the largest major at CSUN, the marketing department, that CSUN is one of the largest number of students body in California and so forth. So, you know, more sometimes is good. And so, but when you're faculty, when you have more, I guess it's great, but it's more work. And so I wanted to be able to have some objective way to look at the faculty and say, you know what, it's wonderful that we have these people that are taking so many students. It's a big responsibility, and it's very much of a Nazarian Wells Fargo Center type of mentality. Is more is better. And so this year, 2022, Clydesdale at the Nazarian College is Christopher Garlington. And I believe Christopher is here.
Yes, hello, Frank. I'm here with my lovely mug. Thank you so much for this. I need
a
bit of coffee to look after so many students.
I guess so. That's the point. At least we're starting supporting you with a mug, and you can have more coffee. Absolutely. So that's wonderful. Thank you for. I think you had 368 students or something like this. I mean, this is incredible. A huge amount of students, and no, sorry, 268 students. And so that's massive number still. And I know a lot of professors were pretty high, and maybe in the future we should have a 1, 2, 3 as well, because they were just a few digit number between the top 3, but still it's fantastic. And I wanted to thank you very much for having the courage of taking so many students. Your head must be spinning sometimes, knowing which class and what you're doing and where you are and all that. So that's awesome. Thank you very much.
I have a very healthy email account. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you keep on top. You don't let 2 or 3 days go by without checking, yeah, because it becomes crazy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So thank you for joining us today. I hope maybe you'll be interested to take some future client projects. And if you are, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will make sure that you know, we have something for you that you can take with your students. So anyone who has this quite a large number of faculty that joined today, which is maybe more than usual. I'm really excited. I have quite a lot of colleagues that actually joined from my department. So that's really, really nice. Thank you very much. And so if you need client project, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Now we're going to move into the second part which is very much focused on these students that are going above and beyond by putting their neck out and trying to impress everyone. So they are today going to be doing 2 pitch. One is short, it's a 60 seconds, and the second one is much longer, it's 5 minutes. The 60 seconds, I want to prepare you for it because it goes extremely fast. What we should do is, Jennifer, would you mind putting in the chat the Qualtrics link for everyone?
Yeah, of course. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, so that way it's already done. So don't vote now because you haven't listened to anyone, but at least we know it's there. These 3 students, I want to say a few words. You know, the students that I get to meet to do these are oftentimes the students that are self-motivated. Because it's, I mean, we met quite a lot of time, maybe 5, 6 times. Every time was probably an hour and a half. That was just the time that I met them, but they also worked on their presentation and all. So it's quite a lot of hours to prepare for this. And this group of students are very balanced. They are very positive students, constantly looking to improve. They listen and they want to do better. They are like perfect sponges, I feel like. And so they just know they are eager to learn. They know that it's a competitive word out there. So they put themselves to this, and thank you for doing it. It was a delight to be coaching you doing this. The 2 ladies are in my current class, my marketing introduction class, and the gentleman was in my class last semester. So it's actually quite unusual, and that shows you the type of people that they are. That he actually heard of this competition because I usually are able to broadcast it to the current students that I have, and the past students, they sort of missed the opportunity. And so he heard about it, and even though it was from the past semester, he says, oh no, this sounds really good. I want to be part of it because I want to be able to put it in my resume. I want to be able to pitch it to some people if it's possible. And so he was very excited to be part of that. So we're going to go in this order. Mary, Ken Koyan will be first, then second will be Dylan Mulcahy, and then third will be Jessica Kubesarian. And so what we do is, if you don't mind putting your video on, Mary, Dylan, and Jessica. Yeah, fantastic. And I'm not seeing Dylan yet. I saw him. Oh yeah, Dylan is right here. So we'll wait for Dylan. Dylan, can you hear me as well? Oh yeah, you're there. Fantastic.
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. So no matter what happens, I just want to say that you are 3 awesome people, and that you should relax, breathe, smile, and make the best out of this. What I'm going to do is okay, so just a second. So let me find Mary, and then yeah, you're right there. So whenever you're ready, you can start. It's on your own clock.
All right. Great. Starting now. There are 2 things that have been the same throughout the course of history: books and honey. And although we're seeing a changing market for books, the same cannot be said for honey. Honey has been consumed in its plainest form for centuries, but a creative innovation is necessary. After researching through possible strategies for my family honey farm, I discovered honey producers who are infusing honey flavors, such as spicy or fruit flavors, are noticing 300% growth in sale in a matter of months. Introducing honey with people's universal favorite flavors, including strawberry, vanilla, and coffee bean, will spark a growth in our era. With a $200,000 investment for 10% equity and $1 royalty until the investment recoups, we can popularize my delicious and bee-friendly flavored honey products. It only takes 3 steps: aligning with retailers, direct-to-consumer marketing, and modern packaging. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Next is Dylan. So just wait, Dylan, that I can find where you are. You there?
Testing 1, 2.
Okay, good. We can
Must
hear
have
you.
sound unmuted.
It's whenever you're ready as well.
Okay. Okay. So, my family, all the way to my great-grandparents, they owned a Hollywood beekeeping business. I had plenty of honeycomb when I was young, and my friends at school loved strawberries. So one day, we decided to add the strawberry to the honey. My parents make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for school lunches. Now think to yourself, why give value away for free? I have to sell this strawberry honey for students' school lunches. Check it out. There's this other brand called Mike's Hot Honey that sells chili flavor. Mike's Hot Honey has got the lead, and they started in the pizza parlor. They're the only honey brand that's got bestseller listing on Amazon. Venture capital is today's technology. We get strawberry honey to the grocery store shelves, online distributors, and pizza restaurants all around the United States. I'm like money. I make honey all the time, and strawberries are fresh on the market. Bees are making honey. We have some investment in marketing. We get the word out to the moms making lunches, dads on the barbecue, and college kids looking to live a little. Dylan's Hive.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Dylan. We are just going to go for Jessica. Whenever you're ready, Jessica, something.
Sure. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Jessica, and my parents founded the Honey Made to Be business 20 years ago. Now they want me to join. I'm delighted, but I want to make the business different. But what can I change when a honey business has been the same for thousands of years? I was inspired by Edward Bernays, one of the most famous marketing consultants of the past century. He discovered that many people had a negative response towards ivory bar soaps because it reminded them of their eyes burning when using these soaps as children. So he decided to make these bar soaps fun by having kids sculpt them. I want to do what Bernice did 100 years ago and have people think of honey not just as something your parents give you when you're sick. After learning that products can be changed when adding flavor, I started adding a variety of flavors to our honey, the most successful being strawberry. In fact, we sold out of the flavor in less than an hour of launching it. From this, I realized that my parents' business can seriously grow in a short period of time. I need your support with different options of investment starting at $50,000 going up to $100,000 for a minimum return of 25% and a possible 137% return on investment because I know this honey is made to be.
Good job. Everybody's awesome. And there's 2 Armenian lady there. Very good. Okay, so what we're going to do is now get through the voting. So Jennifer has put a link inside the chat room. So if you don't mind going to that link and just taking we have to take a few minutes for this. So it's a few minute break. I'm thinking more like 6 minutes or something like that. So if you don't mind, take time to vote, and then I will give you the results of the 60 seconds. All right, yeah, I was just on the phone with my assistant to get the result. That's I was not spacing out. So the person who's going to win is the person that wins the most points. So we had the points from the 60 seconds with the 5 minutes. So it's separate, but I want to give the results. I want to give the results for both. So for the 60 seconds, the winner of the 60 seconds as of today is first Jessica second, Mary, and third, Dylan. So congratulations for the 60 seconds. It was very close. I got a lot of messages. Everybody saying this is very close, hard choice. We see, a lot of information very quickly. And so you've done very well, extremely well, all of you. So congratulations for the first stage. So let's move on now to the next stage, the 5 minutes. And again, we will start with Mary. And I think everything is good. Whenever you're ready as well.
Yeah. So would you like me to share my screen?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yes, my mistake.
Oh, can you?
Yes, I have to
yeah.
put you up, of course.
Okay. Let me know if everything is good. All right. Everything good? Everyone ready?
Yes,
Perfect.
it's good.
Starting now. Coming from a honey making family, I grew up eating honey with every meal. But as I grew up, I was met with a culture shock that not everyone likes honey, but a lot of people like jams. And when I was asked to take on my family business, I knew that I had to replicate a way to replicate my love in others as well. First, we'll take a jar of honey and open it regarding our problems in the honey industry. Second, we'll grab a spoonful of honey as we dive into our colorful solutions. And finally, we'll taste the finances incorporated with the proposal. The problem with our incredible honey is twofold. It's outdated and it lacks interest. The honey producing industry has been producing the same honey for hundreds of years. Nothing has changed, especially not the flavor. But that method cannot satisfy anyone for too long. Secondly, everyone knows what honey is. When you ask a child about honey, she knows what she wants. It's too bland, it's too obvious. There's a desperate need for disruption and innovation. Second, let's grab our spoonful of honey and talk about our solutions. Infused honey. By 2019, almost a year and a half after Sparkling Ice had introduced a new infused flavor, sparkling water and coffee, they generated over $500 million, leading the sparkling water category. Additionally, in 2013, Bud Light Lime introduced Limarita beer, which disrupted and took the market by force. Although it wasn't the first one to introduce the infused flavor idea, it still generated $1 billion up to 2015. Recently, we ran a test run at the farmer's market. We infused cacao with honey in a 12-ounce jar and priced it at $20. Then we had the regular product at a bigger jar and it was priced at $15. Our cacao products generated more sales, testifying that the infused honey flavor is generally more popular. Finally, let's take a taste of the sweet financials associated with our proposal. Our biggest competitor, Mike's Honey, has entered the market and generated millions of dollars over its spicy infused topping only for a few years. But I, being a second generation honey making industry, I am certain that I can take this company to the next level better than Mike's Honey. Hence, I am seeking $200,000 for 10% equity in the company, alongside a $1 royalty until the $200,000 is recouped. 50% of the $100,000 of the investment will go into creating batch samples and dispensing them into larger retailers. Our plan is to try to go into big chains like Costco and Target. 30% or $60,000 of the investment will go into marketing. This includes developing a strategy plan, marketing plan, and implementing those in multiple platforms, including social media. Our goal is to try to direct to consumer platforms as well. 20% or $40,000 of the investment will be allocated to the logo, label, and packaging design. Using our marketing, we hope to create labels and packaging that will target the general public, be it colors for children or organics for parents. Here are some of our examples. So this is the premium honey label, and that includes the strawberry one. And the next to it is the raspberry one. And this is going to be the infusion with the lemon. As we can see, there's enough colors and there's enough wording to indicate that it's healthy. Each product that we make without flavor is $5.71, and the one with flavor is $6.21. Furthermore, the displayed numbers portray that with a cost of mere 50 cents, we can increase the price of sale by $5, giving us a larger profit and better margins. Using this data, I drafted a financial forecast. In year one, our current year, I have a cost of $114,000 for the product in terms of expenses. Sale of $300,000 right now without your investment, and $186,000 of profit. With your investment in our marketing, we can have $186,000 in expenses, doubling our sale of $600,000 and $354,000 in profit. Notice that our sale is expected to double with the infusion. Finally, we anticipate a constant growth of 45% increase, resulting in $870,000 in sales, $269,000 plus in expenses, and over $600,000 in profit. So who's ready to invest in us and change the plain and ordinary into a tasteful masterpiece? Thank you.
So what we have here is Dylan's Hive. It's magnificent honey, isn't it? It's strawberry flavor this year. So what we have is, because my family owned a business in beekeeping, we make delicious honey. I'd eaten so much honey when I was young. Frankly, I had to get rid of it somehow. My parents would make these sandwiches for my school lunches, so we decided that we'd give them to the friends. And all my classmates, oh my gosh, they said the sandwiches were the best tasting honey that they'd ever had. We had plenty of friends. So I made plenty of recipes, all different flavors. It was great. I would meet with my community and I would ask them personally, what flavors did you enjoy? One of them was Jennifer. Jennifer had a wonderful family. Who was she? Well, one day I met with Jennifer and she said, okay, well, look, coffee and chili flavored honeys are their favorites. So we should make a product and somehow have a business of something. So I did that. I met with my classmates and asked about food. Moms do most of the grocery shopping and prepare their kids' lunches. Pizza is popular. College students continue eating habits that they picked up when they were kids. Mike's Honey has a lot of chili flavor. They sell so much honey. Oh my gosh, they're top of the charts. It was actually flavor-wise, it was ranked 5th in flavor categories. What were the top 3? Strawberry, coffee, and chocolate. We checked the National Honey Board and this was confirmed. So we went and said, okay, great. Let's design a bottle. Let's make a really nice bottle. Let's add a label to it, Dylan's Hive. So Mike's is so popular, it's on the grocery store shelves. We have to build a presence on the market though, because we have to plan to sell the products with our own flavors. Mike's has dominated the market. Let's check something out. Okay, so we have, White Claw, seltzer, great. It's flavor essences that has significant gains in today's market. Basically, it's water seltzer with flavors in a unique image. But what did Red Bull do? What did we learn from Red Bull? We learned that they did marketing so well and they have a global brand now and they diversified into media. So what opportunities are existing right now? We have a lot of preferences these days, don't we? We have now, let's ask ourselves, okay, so $150,000, we develop a flavorful product line, we do something sustainable market presence, long-term sales, subscribers to the brand, and a safe, convenient, renewed way to enjoy honey. So we make sure that Mike doesn't take our idea first and we build our market share, we build brand presence. Let's check out the production costs. Okay, well, we assess and we say, okay, well, this is how much it costs to make per bottle. And we got a lot of marketing leeway in that. So we check out, okay, first 12,000 units sold. Here's what it looks like when we look at the constants and shipping's constant. So we do something like a cola sales app, Starbucks coffee. We meet with a sales team and we meet our sales goal through product subscriptions. We get them on the store shelves. We use minimum purchases, no consignments. And we establish our marketing dollars to reach the channels. We reach the channels So easy. Advertising is like curating a product image. It's like curating an idea. When we connect the customer to the bottle, the experience is the company brand culture. So as an accounting major, I looked through the financials and saw, okay, well, we just keep on maximizing our market dollars. And this is what it would look like in 15 months. You know, our units would sell steadily, increasing, good. And something like brand awareness. So as we increase the spending of our market dollars, so does the optimization of our marketing efficiency happens. And so what did Mike's do? Well, they used their entry into advertising services by meeting with a consultant. They didn't have to reinvent the wheel. Honey has pleasant venues and it has plenty of them, plenty of menus to choose from. Just an example. So we subscribe and get our agents to connect with Amazon, Target, Walmart, Instacart, and we build up our cash flow. As our marketing dollars increase, as you can see here, is that within 12 to 15 months, we're actually already reaching $50,000 worth of savings in market reinvestment. And this way, when we take on a loan, we don't have to worry about whether or not we're going to stay afloat. We're going to maintain profitability. So what we do with $175,000, what we do is we spend it. We use pre-planned marketing packages, positive new coverage, prepaid tax planning, contracts for telecommunications services, and fuel for transportation costs. We already have produced things ahead of time. Honey doesn't expire. So we get this. And then imagine yourselves, okay, at the mother's bruncheon, you meet with the business-minded moms and you sit in the tables and you say, okay, well, yeah, there's a great brunch and there's featured recipes. Or imagine yourself, you're at the soccer game and we decide to host a bruncheon for the school. And as a catering company, we decide, okay, we're going to feature the product as part of the catering. And, you know, shout out to Fullerton, Pomona, Long Beach, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Channel Islands. Each one has a soccer team, both men and women. So interestingly also, we connect with our fire department. We connect with catering for barbecues. We do something like we go to the picnic and we have a lunch truck and we build the brand. We feature celebrities. We feature influencers and celebrities, personalities. Catering events has to be in optimizing our spending efficiency. We provide our guest sponsors and collaborations in ways that are within the Honey community, so everyone is mutually supporting each other, and that way we have a step up. Thank you.
Great job, Dylan. Thank you.
It says host disabled.
Yes, because I couldn't find you before, so I just now you're
Perfect.
good.
Now it works. Thank you.
Yes. Whenever you're ready as well, Jessica.
Sure. Set it up. Okay, I'm ready in 3, 2, 1. At Honey Made to Be, I came up with the idea to flavor our honey when one day I went to get a snack in the fridge and saw strawberry flavored water. And while I tried it, I was blown away. I realized there was a current trend in the marketplace, which was infusing flavors in edible products. I told my parents that it was time to try something new with this business. So I began infusing our honey with the strawberry flavor as a test and gave it to my neighbors and family friends, along with our regular non-flavored honey. Safe to say, they all came back to order more of the strawberry flavored honey. And you bet I gave my parents the "I told you so" look. We would take our flavored honey to holiday gatherings and birthday parties and soon began building a large clientele. It became clear to my parents and I that there was an obvious demand for flavored honey because the demand for natural sweeteners is increasing. And we realized that if honey is targeted to parents of children, then our consumers and sales can increase. In fact, 75% of kids say they have 2 to 3 snacks a day. And while we know children influence other children, they'll try a new snack at school, come home, and immediately tell their parents, which is why 80% of mothers say they are the primary grocery shopper, and they also prefer healthier options versus preservatives. And while we know whatever mom makes, kids eat. This is why school children and mothers specifically are our main target audience. Now, the honey market is not slowing down anytime soon. It is predicted to grow 6% in the next 8 years, which is why the US is the second largest consumer of honey. And because 70% of honey is imported from outside the US, that means there's a demand for domestically made honey in which we take the opportunity to do so. Now, we believe we have the ability to lead the honey market because most of our competition has packaging that's not easy to use. Honey that comes in jars means you have to scoop it. And we all know sometimes honey can get stuck to the lid and you end up prying it open. Most of our competition also lacks flavor range. Just like Mary mentioned earlier, Mike's Hot Honey leads the market of infused honey, but that's from one flavor alone, spice. Sweetman Honey offers passion fruit and thyme flavors. BZB's offers vanilla, cinnamon, and hemp. That means most of our competition has packaging that's not easy to use and products that lack flavor range. Add Honey Made to Be, our packaging makes it easy for kids to play with and parents to drizzle over their food if they're in a hurry. Most importantly, we carry flavors that people crave and are popular in the market. We do this by developing a range of honey flavors that will appeal to any audience. We have flavors such as Brazilian coffee, chocolate, and strawberry. This makes honey fun, exciting, and convenient for people to enjoy, given our beehive-inspired packaging, which makes the product easy to use. Now, our go-to-market strategy in the next upcoming years is to hire a marketing team and to position our brand in the minds of our consumers. By 2023, we want to launch new flavors, and by 2024, we want to start distributing honey packets to places who have a similar target audience as us to increase sales by increasing brand awareness. This is why today I'm asking for a $50,000 or $100,000 investment to accelerate production and increase sales. We hope to use this investment over a 2-year or 4-year course. And along with that, we're offering 2.5% or 5% of our net income per year. And by doubling your investment, you can expect to see a 3 times return on profits alone. Now, this is because under the $50,000 ask, our focus is to break even to occur sooner in case that is your main investment goal. Whereas our focus with the $100,000 investment is for this to be long-term. This is why we're offering a higher take on our profits, because we want to leverage every dollar to maximize revenue over the next 4 years. The way we'd be using these funds is that 40% will go towards marketing, 35% will go towards inventory, which includes creating the honey packets, and 25% will go towards infrastructure, because we know as sales increase, our service has to be more efficient than ever, and we would like to improve our production facility to meet the demand of our honey. Now, it costs us $8.70 to produce a 12-ounce bottle of honey. We sell a market price for $12.99, which leaves us with a 49.3% profit margin. Now, our financial projections are based on a $100,000 investment because we see this to be 3 times more profitable. But if you're interested in the $50,000 investment, we can show you that after the presentation. Now, if you look at the units sold per year graph, you can see it resembles a compound annual growth. And by the 4th year, we project to sell 60,000 units of our honey. Looking at the total sales right below, we project a 492.5% increase in sales from year 1 to year 4. And by the 5th year, we hope we could cross that $1 million mark. Now, once again, because we want to use this investment over the next 4 years, you can see the first year, when we use 25% of your investment, you get to see an immediate return of 40.71%, because that reflects the demand and sales of our honey. Jumping to the 4th year, in which break-even does occur, you can expect to have a whopping 134.8% return on investment. And also, you can receive about 25% of your initial investment back to you from profits alone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunity and time is now. Thank you, because this honey is made to be.
Thank you, Jessica. Very exciting. Good work for everyone. I believe Jennifer made the link.
Yeah, I just sent it in the
Thank you
chat.
very much. So same thing, if you don't mind going inside the chat room and just click on the link. Like I said, it's made so easy. It's going to take you less than 5 seconds, possibly, at least to get through the process. You may be thinking about who you want to vote right now. So we'll take a few minutes and I'll wait to hear back from Jennifer. If you don't mind calling me again, Jennifer, so we can talk about this. Thank you.
Yes, we'll.
All right. Welcome, everyone. So before I give the results, I wanted to tell you a quick story, because everyone is probably wondering why you're talking about honey and where did this come and why you have the same project. And obviously it's an exercise for you to train as if you're going through the real process of trying to connect with investors. And so this came from when I was actually working with the students back in spring 2021 for Califia Farms. And the students were looking for solution for califia farms. And one of them was a solution to go and start flavoring plant-based milk. And students spent a long time on the different flavorings and found so much business growing in flavoring things, flavoring the seltzer water, flavoring the dual vape cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and all of this. So the flavor was a really big thing. And then they found that there was even a little trend for flavoring honey. And so I kept this on the side of my head. And at the end of the summer, I contacted the producer of honey in Los Angeles and asked them if they were interested to get consulting services. So there's several companies that responded that they were interested. And so we helped 3 companies in Los Angeles, that are companies that you see in the farmer's market, to get consulting services. One of these companies was the Valley Hive. So the Valley Hive is one of the largest in Los Angeles. They've been in business about 40 years. And so I talked to the owner, and the owner said, hey, why not getting consulting services that could be helpful? So we started the consulting services early September, and the students knew nothing about honey, and they didn't know much about consulting either. And they started working on this project for the Valley Hive. And as they were working on the project, the business of infusing honey, flavoring honey, was actually exploding. And the students could see that from months to months. And one of the examples that you mentioned in your presentation was Mike's Honey, which when they looked at Mike's Honey in September, I don't remember the number of money they were making, but by October they had doubled, and by December they had multiplied by 6 the sales that they had done in September. So the students were blown away within this concept of infusion. So by the time that they were presenting it to the client, they felt very confident that this was a fast growing business, and it was time to get and jump into the infused honey. So the students were excited, and the client came to the presentation, and the presentation is actually online because I posted it. It was a very good presentation that the students did. And the client admitted at the end of the presentation, and that's also online for everyone to see, that he didn't expect much from a bunch of students, young people, working on a business, which he had been working for 40 years, to tell him anything new or anything disruptive. But he said, what the heck, I might as well go through the process, and maybe I can learn 1% that could help my business. In fact, at the end, he says that he was blown away, and that the presentation that the students had done was far beyond what I ever expected. And in fact, he could see that this was the biggest disruption in the honey business that had happened for the past 1,000 years. And that the decision was not if he was going to do it, but it was about, can I do it as fast as possible in order to catch it at the very, very beginning? So the students were super excited, and they went like, my God, they felt very good about themselves. And so I thought that this would be, because of the way this works, you know, it's not always like that you find something disruptive, but to take this disruptive idea and then give it to you for you to practice on how to bring a disruption to potential investors and play that role. So that's where the story came from. What's also interesting is one of the lead students in that team, his dream was to work in Universal Studio and to be a marketing person in Universal Studio. That was his dream. And he actually came to me in January and said, hey, professor, you have no idea what happened to me. I went to a job interview for Universal Studio, and they asked me, what did I do? And then suddenly I said, you know what, I'm going to tell these people about the Valley Hive and what I did. And so he pitched that to the employer in his dream job, and they listened to that. They thought it was fantastic, and he was hired, and he was so happy. And he called me in January. And if you remember, I mean, 2 of you are in the class. He came in February because I told him, you know, don't tell me that. Tell the students that are studying right now what happened to you once you finish this project. And he was like, oh yeah, I want to come and tell them. Take it seriously. I got my dream job pitching this to the employer, you know. So obviously there's a winner here, and there's 2 people that are the finalists, all right? And so what I want to say is you are all winners because you've all done it. And therefore you can do like this young person did, you can take advantage of it. It's next time you have a job interview, or if you want, you have a dream job, send them your resume and put it inside that you've done the Wells Fargo Center fast pitch, and you know about investors and how to speak to investors and how you organize all of that, and how important is, you know, budgeting marketing, because without marketing you won't sell. You gotta have sales are going to be going with how much communication and how much marketing you're going to put. So that's very, very important. I wanted to say that. So very exciting. We do have a winner, and so I will tell you that the person that won the 5 minutes, it was first Jessica, and second it was Mary and Dylan. You actually tied. So Mary and Dylan were second for the 5 minutes together. And Jessica, congratulations. Today you won. That's a very good work that you've done. And I recommend you to stay in touch. I've worked a lot with you. You're very similar. I think you want to remember CSUN. You want to remember this experience. You want to stay in touch. I think you want to be grateful, and if you can be in touch with each other, I think you're wonderful people. You should be connected. Now there's this thing called social media, so it's easy. You will have other choices, and life is long in front of you. And so take this with you, and a job well done today, and go out and inspire people, and keep doing things that you're not required to do, but because you want to do it. That's the most important. Any little message you want to say to people that are there, because these are people in your class, so people you may know. I know I saw some names. I guess there's family members that you invited as well, and so yeah.
They always support me.
That's very good.
But yeah, I'm so thankful for this opportunity. Mary, Dylan, you both did amazing. Both drawn back from your energy. I would love to keep in touch, and he is definitely right. This was absolutely amazing. Thank you for everyone who watched. I hope you are inspired, not just by us, but from our professor's message as well. You have to set yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow. It's not all about talk. You have to do the work. And for this, I'm always thankful. And thank you for everyone, especially Mary and Dylan. You guys did absolutely amazing.
Thank you. You want to add something, Mary or Dylan? No? Yes.
Sure. Congratulations, Jessica. Definitely our competitive spirit. I think it's definitely merited. So I'm really thankful that we're all being able to kind of be able to vent our energies into something kind of conducive to kind of a professional progress, contributing to our resumes and everything like that. And maybe it'll lead to more. I think it could lead to something else and something better, hopefully, because, you know, truth be told, yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, this information that very well could be used in an accounting situation or a consulting type of environment. And who knows, maybe it might be that next $1 million idea. And very much so, I'm actually quite surprised in some ways that, because sometimes, you know, we do, you know, we're being encouraged to think outside the box, but not too much. You know, it's kind of funny because it's like, you know, one day you're inventing something, and then next thing you know, they say that, you know, it's too big for Apple Music. So I guess it's kind of out of my ballpark. But then nonetheless, I'm very thankful that I got to be in this program and everything, and to be able to contribute kind of some of my thoughts, and to be able to hear both Mary and Jessica. Once again, congratulations. Also, I'm very thankful to have to work with both of you on these things, because certainly, I mean, you know, it's what makes the world go round. Be it the birds and the bees and everything else.
Very good. Thank you for joining us. You know, you came from last semester, so you definitely put a lot of energy. Thank you for Mary. I know you've done a lot of public speech, and so you could tell you were very trained, and you had a big voice and a lot of energy as well when how she was speaking. So you've done really good. Very excited to have had everyone join us today. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank for the support of the university, the Nazarian College, and Wells Fargo for the center. We are, it's a center that's trying to do as much good as possible, and that's what we're trying to do. We encourage everyone to work with clients, and we have a lot of new faculty, and a lot of them come and they are interested in working with clients. So please reach out to me. I look forward to keep growing the center and its interactions with businesses. And I look forward to see more people from Wells Fargo, more students eager to learn, because we live in a situation where right now the students are some are somewhat giving up a little bit. And I think it's the time to step up. It's the time to look forward and see that the more you spend on yourself and invest in yourself, the more you can look forward to grow to bigger things. So invest in yourself, do extra things, be selective because there's a lot of choices as well, but do extra things and then things happen. Thank you very much, everyone. Anyone has anything else that they would want to say, or Sugar Aslanian, are you still there? I'm not sure. She may have.
I am still here.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you again
wonderful.
for having me. Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, wonderful. So,
Silent observer for the rest of the time, but I appreciate you all being here. Mary, Jessica, and Dylan, awesome job with your presentations. Again, thank you for being part of it and having me. And Frank, hopefully we can connect soon as well and see
yes,
what we could continue to collaborate on.
yes,
Thank you.
thank you for coming today. Just for the people we're working on the project A2 Milk. While you were presenting, I got an email from the CEO of A2 Milk saying that they were very excited on what we are doing, and they were looking forward to see your project. I mean, it's a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. It's very nice. They're thinking of us, So obviously, that we must be doing something all right. So let's keep on doing that, and let's hope for great students like the one we had today to be able to keep making wonderful things like this. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming today. Thank you for taking the time. I was grateful to be able to do this, and I'm looking forward to be in class with you back today and keep working on the next client project. Congratulations, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Thanks again. All the best.
Yes, bye-bye.
Thank you, Frank. It was great.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for the faculty for coming today. That's great.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I was super impressed.
Yes, it takes those kind of students to be able to do this kind of thing. So we have them.
Yeah, they do us proud. I mean,
Yeah,
so much potential and creativity. I'm feeling very elated right now.
I think, what's nice is that it's very likely we'll hear from the students in the future in some capacity because they go getters. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely. This is very uplifting. So
Great.
Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Have a great day and a good end of the semester if I don't see you.
Bye, Frank.
Thank you.